Good morning. Good morning. It is the week of Christmas, believe it or not. My God, this year is flying by, right? Here it was. Just was this periscoped. Interesting, or periscoped. Excuse me, periscoped. Good morning, welcome. Or I'm saying good morning. I have no idea where you are in the world. Love to see where you're actually tuning in from. Give you a proper shout out. Um, Continuing this exercise journey and considering this scoping journey. I am continuing this miracle morning process. As I mentioned, Kilowatt 2059, welcome. Love to see where people are tuning in from. So shoot me a message. Let me know where you're actually joining from in the world. Had people from Australia, Russia, all over. So I'd love to get the time frames right. Especially I'm telling everyone good morning because I'm on the East Coast of the United States and I have no idea where everyone else is. But Kofi Ford coming out of Marietta, Georgia, which is just north and west of Atlanta, one of these suburbs here. Been here now for quite some time. Actually, I moved to Atlanta back in, I guess you should say 91, and I never left, even though I did go back to DC for about 2 months. But other than that, it's been a week, a year maybe, and I think that's slowed down. I need to do better at that and getting home and seeing the family. Any case, I've been doing this scope every morning for the last 36 days. Today's day 37, and no desire whatsoever to stop this. And I'll continue to do these scopes every day, if they're 1 minute long or if they're 30 minutes long, like I have been. Denise Josephs, welcome. Love to see where you're tuning in from. You're definitely new to my scopes, which I've been doing every morning, as I mentioned. Got this, or at least I started down this process after reading a book by Hal Elrod. Brick Sprims, welcome out of North Carolina. How you doing today? New York City, awesome. New York City, my wife and I were just talking about going there. God morning to you too. Haven't been there in quite some time. Amused forever, welcome. Haven't been in New York in a while, a long while. And the last time I was actually there was just for one day. And, it's hard to pull a family around the city when you only got one day, but you're trying to see as many sites as possible. So wife and I are already talking about, I've got a good friend. I'm out of Marietta, Georgia. I've got a good friend who I've known since middle school, actually, who now produces plays in New York City. And there's a play she has going on up there. So we're thinking of making a trip out of it to go see her play, support her, and enjoy the city as well. Um, so love it there. Never really got the chance to really have fun in that city of New York, but looking forward to getting back. Brink Sprims, I love to see that you're up again. Stay consistent. I love it. I'm sure you're probably already. I'm sure you're probably already wrapping up. Yeah, I've been in Marietta now for quite some time. Oh my, is everything okay, Brink Sprims? With the morning activity that you're doing, I know you're pushing. I know you're pushing, and that's awesome. Awesome to see anybody who can remain consistent in any type of endeavor or goal that they have set for themselves. So keep it up, keep it up. I'm glad you did catch the read broadcast yesterday. I appreciate you watching. Um, this morning, really quick, I was just going to, I just had a thought that came. I was, well, okay, great, great. How is real estate in Marietta? Marietta is hot. Real estate wise, it is hot. The school district actually that we're in, I always try to buy houses out here, but it's so difficult because they're on the market and then bam, they're gone so quickly. I know folks even in my neighborhood have sold houses in the last few months. And, I think they may stay on the market for double digit days, but it may not be that long. They're selling so quickly because, the school system out here is so good. Um, so yeah, it's hot in Marietta. Are you trying to come down here and compete with me? I'd love to hear about that. Yeah, Marietta's real estate market is absolutely on fire. I know we're in the slower times of the year, but I tell you, it doesn't matter. not just in my city, but all of the county that I live in as well, because the school systems are so good. One family homes, that all depends on the area that you're going to be in. So that's kind of a hard question to answer. When you look at the way Atlanta is set up, I mean, even Atlanta, you go from one street to another street and prices could drop by, $60,000 or more. Neighborhoods is so important. I mean, it could be, I mean, again, from the range side, you could get a house as low as, in the mid hundreds and easily up to, mid 400s. It really depends on the neighborhood. I mean, that's the best way to answer that. You could be on one side of the street and be at a completely different price than the houses across the street in a different neighborhood. So really, really hard to answer that question. Justin Jones, 83, welcome. I know we've got New York City, we've got North Carolina. Who else do we actually have on here where you're calling out of? I was actually going to go into something just really quick in terms of Cali. Okay, what part of Cali are you out of, Justin? We actually have that as one of the places, San Diego specifically, is one of the places that we may potentially move into or move to relocate to after my 14-year-old finishes high school. So Cali is high on the list. Bay Area. Okay, I've got relatives out there in the Bay Area. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, then again, pretty much everywhere I have been to in California has been absolutely beautiful. Love the way the mountains look, and then you got the coast as well. It's just beautiful, beautiful area. In any case, uh, my question posed to the group today was, what's holding you back? What's holding you back? Because in the end, if you get rid of all the fluff on top of it, what we pile on top of things, it usually boils down to fear. Usually it does. What prevents people from going out and literally being the best person that they could ever possibly be? Fear. It could be fear of failure, fear of success. Both equally keep us from being the best person that we could possibly be. You got to determine what that is. You know, I in depending upon whether or not you're working a job or you're an entrepreneur, in the end, fear is so debilitating. And what actually really pushes you in that respect. You look at the things that come out in the airwaves, on the news. They've got you out there, shifting your focus. It's all about shifting your focus away from where you want to go, shifting it over to things that won't happen. Okay. They want you to fear the things that won't ever happen, or places you won't ever even go. Why are those things necessarily important to you specifically? Yes, they're newsworthy items, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't know what's happening in the world. But in the end, day to day, every day when you wake up and you go out and you pursue your dreams, is that where your focus should be? Or is your focus back on the activity that you need to be doing today and every day to continue moving towards your dreams? The fear side of things is absolutely amazing. We're motivated in one of two ways, either by what brings us pleasure or what we fear or what brings us pain. We're motivated in one of those two areas, right? And the strongest motivation that has ever existed has always been fear, period. So thus you see some of the things that candidates are saying, absolutely, Denise, it's amazing how fear will drive us, but that's kind of how we are built, right? We have this fight or flight reaction, and it's an instinctual thing that we don't even necessarily have an amazing amount of control over in the moment. But our bodies are geared to, in that moment, move in a certain direction. Okay. You're either going to fight back against what's facing you, or you're going to run away from it. Right. So fight or flight is at our core. And don't you think the media knows this? Don't you think that this world system has been set up to really, hit you at that core level? So we fear things. What does that fear do to us? Well, it's like walking through life with shackles. It's like walking through life with heavy weight bags on you the entire time. Yeah, you can possibly still make it to your destination if you got the time, but in most cases, you end up running out of time because you're moving slower than you should and going after what you want to go after. I invite you, to simply put in some different information, because really, I talked about the sponge example. I don't know if you saw that scope the other day, but absolutely, fear is debilitating. The sponge. We are. I made an analogy of us to a sponge, and the sponge. When you squeeze it, the only thing that comes out of that sponge is only what it absorbed in the first place. So likewise, with us, when we're squeezed, when we're challenged, when we're pressed, when we face difficulties and challenges, that's a squeezing moment for us. And what comes out of us is everything that we've been putting in. So the books that we read, the television that we watch, the people that we hang out with. There's a common saying that I don't need to necessarily know you, but if I know your five closest friends, I know everything about you, everywhere you're going to go, your life's work, in essence, is told through the five people that you're closest to, that you spend the most time with. I know how much money you make. I know kind of what neighborhood you live in. I may not know exactly where your street is, but I know everything about you based upon those five people you spend the most time with. Now, hopefully, a lot of people are already saying, who do I spend most of my time with? And then, man, is that where I want to go? Because in the end, I know we were talking about fear, but really this is about really what's stopping you from being the best you possible. And it could be that you're simply not in the right circle. Not only are you not getting the right information, but you're not getting the right input from the people that you're around every day, or that you spend the most time with, or that you go to lunch with on your job. You might be with people. Absolutely, that's exactly what I'm saying, Denise. You might be with people who make you feel comfortable, and nowhere that you feel comfortable are you challenged to be better. I get comfortable in my bed, but I sleep there. There's no progress necessarily made while I'm sleeping. Now, if I was still a child, I'd at least be growing, but that's not happening anymore. So you change the circle that you're in. I'm not saying get rid of your friends. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is start to spend time, start to invest your time with people who can help you progress to the goals that you set for yourself. Start to put in information. I've been talking about this slight edge book for a few days now. Um, Think and Grow Rich, another book that's absolutely wonderful. But start putting in information into your mind and continue down that pathway, and watch and see how your thinking changes. And once your thinking changes, watch and see how your behavior changes. And all these little things will start to impact and ripple in other places in your life as you continue to move forward. Start to do that immediately. You got Sunday, you got a day before you get back to all those people in the office, before they send you, a message or an email saying, what are we going to do for lunch today? You know, Tomorrow, do something different. Go to the bookstore. Go to the bookstore during lunch. Grab something really quick. Make your lunch beforehand that you can pop in the microwave and eat really quick. Do something different. Go pick up a book. Go pick up a book. I'm glad you're enjoying this, Brinks Brim. You go pick up a book. Read something different. Read The Miracle Morning, book that absolutely for me has completely moved me in a different pathway. I had read plenty of books by Tony Robbins, Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant, all those kinds of things. And they already started me in a different trajectory. But I tell you, continuing down that path, which is, I appreciate those hearts, you know, moving in that different direction, putting in this different information, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to become the person you need to be in order to bring to pass things that you want to happen in your life. Whether those are things like spending more time with your family and strengthening the relationships in your household. Well, how do you do that? Well, you find a way to cut out all the junk, turn off the TV maybe, start to input stuff about building a better marriage or a better relationship or how to relate to your children better. You're going to get the information to change yourself on the inside. See, changing the inside is the best change you'll ever make in your entire life. But get rid of the things in essence that hold you back by changing the programming. This is nothing but a machine. It's like a computer, right? We code this thing. We code it, and out of the coding that we put in there, it begins to operate. It just operates on that code. Go out and get that goal setting training. Oh my God, I know I've talked about it a few times. You go to my, you gotta go to my YouTube page. There's a training I did on goal setting. It's absolutely valuable because it talks about how to actually set up the subconscious mind and how the subconscious actually directs us more than we could ever realize. It takes care of our breathing and our heartbeat and all those other functions in our body, but it actually controls even where we feel comfortable. And that's huge. So it's youtube.com/Kofi Ford, and that's KOFIFORD, youtube.com/Kofi Ford. Yeah, it's great information. Appreciate that. Hopefully you find it helpful as well, Denise. But yeah, do what you got to do. Start now. Don't wait. We coming down to the end of the year. It's a great time with a new year to kind of reboot everything, right? It's a new year. It's a new hope. We got the opportunity to become a new person. And in the end, it's not really new. It's the person you were already designed to be. But you got to start the programming right. You got to start putting in the right stuff, and you got to make it, in the end, a point where you understand that the only thing that's stopping you is you. I love, I went to watch that movie Creed, and there's a line in there where he says, he's shadowboxing in the mirror, and he says, look in that mirror, that's the only person you'll ever have to fight. And in the end, that's where all of us are. The only person you're fighting right now is yourself. Win that battle by taking control. Stop being on autopilot as we normally walk through our lives. We're given this pathway that says, go to school, get good grades, go get a job, work that job, and retire one day. Why? Take control. Let's get off of autopilot. Let's on purpose program ourselves to line up with the person that we need to become. And then let's live the best life possible. Always appreciate you all joining me on these morning scopes. I hope you have an absolutely phenomenal day. It is the week of Christmas. Hopefully you got some phenomenal things to unpack and some fun and some time with family. Share that, enjoy them, love on them. I'll be with you every single day, even Christmas morning, maybe before the kids even get out of bed to go downstairs and get toys if you celebrate it that way. But I appreciate every single one of you. Have an absolutely awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Amen. That's right, Denise. All right, folks. I'm going to go ahead and tune out. Thanks so much for joining in. Have a great day.